turn out I figure out by not the right time. Always have to buy and they start to drop. Okay. And
that's why this is so important.
Yeah, I know. And then when I sell it, I also find out sometimes I don't sell it at the right time. You know.
Right.
Even I'm thinking about holding for a long time, but.
But if you could get a better price, why not?
Yeah. Just like you
We're good?
said.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go back to my TRX chart. So the next thing I do is I like to draw fib support just to kind of, or fib retracement, just to kind of see like what's going on. So quick question, Zach. I read somewhere the other day, and this could be wrong, but they said you can draw fib retracement to the bottom of a candle wick at the very bottom, and then but you would have to drag it to the very top of the candle wick. And if you don't want to do that, then you can drag it to the body of the candle. So that's the correct way. It could be either way.
They're the same on top and bottom.
Okay.
That's correct.
Okay.
Keep in mind that the wick that extends from the candle up and above and below is not the open and close of where most people are trading.
Okay.
That's the extreme of where somebody was willing to go super low or super high. So if you take Fibonacci, the retracement, Fibonacci is supposed to measure probability of the total amount invested in the market. So the bodies are what close to the market is at.
So it's more effective and accurate. Okay.
I mean, logically it makes more sense, but you're totally allowed to do it. Look how high that wick is.
I know. That was the December pump. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go ahead and go with the bottom of the body instead. Okay. Okay. All right. So, the first thing that I'm noticing here about, can you see it? You're eyeballing it? Okay. So the first thing that I'm noticing about this is that we are like teetering, even though we're over the fib. What am I trying to say? Even though we're above fib support here, there's a major support line here that is not included in fib. So we are like on the edge of like breaking that. Come on. Hi, you here for the trading meetup? Yes, you can come in. Yeah, come in, ask questions. Are you a cryptocurrency investor? Awesome, cool. Take a seat and enjoy. If you have any questions, just go ahead and ask us. Okay, so the first thing that I'm noticing is that we are breaking through the support line here, which is, to me, that's bearish. I don't like it. But the good thing about it is that we can draw a support box here.
So what are you basing that support box on?
I'm basing the support box on this support line here, which is going to be turned into resistance because we're breaking through it, and I'm basing it on this support line here that is a historical support for.
So that would be our next support zone?
Yeah, and that's why I like doing the support boxes, because if we're going to bounce, we're going to bounce inside here. We're not just going to drop all the way down.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you know where you can make some profit.
Yeah, you know that. I mean, obviously this is our historic, like our super support, which is actually the fib picked that up for me, so I'm going to get rid of this support line. I initially draw these on as guides for myself, but I can get rid of it because the one fib line took care of that. But yeah, of course, price can still drop here and hit all these traditional or all these existing support. But this is right now. This is a safe area for me. If I was to enter into this project, I would probably do this. I don't even know if you can do this, but I do it. But I would draw another fib retracement, and I would do it. Well, do I start down, Zach? I can do it. Okay. Right. So what I would do just to kind of see for myself is I would probably draw another fib box inside this fib box. Let me just to kind of see where I'd want to set my bids at. And if you notice, there's a fib here, a fib here, a fib here, a fib here, and these are all at really important support and resistance levels inside the support box. So if I wanted to enter into this project and like hold it or swing trade it or whatever it is, I would place my bids in here, but there's levels in the fibs that are more significant than others, right? And do you want to talk about that?
It's like, okay, goes it ranges from 0 to 100, or from 0 to 1, let's say. And then everything going up, let's say from 0 to worth 1. And it's like, if price comes up and it hits the line, it goes back down and tests it. And then if it goes back up again, it hits that line. If it doesn't break it still, test it 2 times. The more times it hits a line, it makes that line more probable that it's going to break it and go higher. So if it tests 3 or 4 times, it's going to break through it. It's really signal. It's a good signal to get in. And then when you get to 2 numbers, 0.386, 382 and 0.618, those sort of are really where 66% of the trading takes place. So it's like probability that most of the market will buy and sell randomly.
Are you here for the meetup?
No, I literally just walked in and I'm like, this looks like my kind of thing.
Okay, cool. Yeah, go ahead, take a seat. Take a seat over here, anywhere you like, wherever you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Do you invest in cryptocurrency or?
You know, I was pretty heavily invested in Ethereum at the beginning of last year, and I sold it all off at a pretty good time and
Hey,
paid off like half my debts.
good for you. Awesome. Yeah, take a seat, sir. Yeah, so we're talking about the basics of trading. This is an open dialogue, open conversation. If you have any kind of question, just go ahead and ask, and we'll do the best we can to answer. We're glad to have you. So, but yeah, so.
I was just going to piggyback off what you said. So if you say it retraces and it hits that mark, what time frame are you looking at for it to?
You know, that's the thing about Fibonacci. What it's doing is it's looking at basically the buy and sell activity. But it doesn't matter what, I mean, if you're looking at a 1-day candle, like right here, you know your trade is going to be long. It's going to be weeks, probably, before it reaches the retracement unless the market's really crazy. But if you're looking at a half an hour, 30-minute candle, then a retracement bar there is literally like nothing on this chart, right? It's still valid because it has to do with the range of your trade. The fast trade, time frame that's accurate, that matches where I could do it in 30 minutes, maybe like a couple days, one day, just a week or a month or 2 months, 3 months, of a swing where you're waiting. But it's fine because if you're willing to part with that money and just be trade and let it run, you'll be accurate no matter what you're reading. Because it's still all about the probabilities, and when you do enough of the analysis and the math and stuff, you go, oh, this is all the same, no matter what else you do.
Yeah.
But it's
Yeah, fib that's awesome because it kind of like draws your support and resistance for you almost, so you don't have to like go in there. I mean, of course, I like to do them myself just when I first open a chart just to kind of see where I'm at, and then I kind of see where the fib touches on some of my lines and whatnot. And sometimes I'll keep my extra lines in there I drew. Sometimes I'll get rid of them. It just really depends depends the scenario. So. But yeah, I would totally get, like, let's say I wanted to invest $1,000 in Tron, I would get that and I'd probably divide it on equally on all and stack my buys and just wait for them, be very patient, wait for them to hit. And then even too, what I might do, depending on market sentiment, I might even do some all the way down here just in case. And because sometimes with crypto, you never know, you get those long wicks that end up touching and down really low and your order might get filled, so. If you have the extra fiat and you're not like too concerned about it, that's a cool strategy to use. So yeah. Wait, say that again?
Are you developing a bot?
No.
Okay.
No, I just I like to trade. I taught myself how to trade, and I started posting my content on Twitter. People liked it, and so I said, okay, well maybe I should host meetups and see about like learning, because there's a lot of things I'm still learning, and like opening the conversation to other people and hope like bounce ideas off each other. So, but yeah.
So I actually just joined a company called Unify. Have you heard about that?
Okay, no, I haven't.
So it's actually they develop these bots, and basically they pay like $300 to join, and it's like multiple fees, but you get to use their signals.
Right.
And Telegram, so you can basically follow them because they have algorithms.
Right.
What you're doing, basically, they have algorithms running.
Right. Yeah, I mean, there are people that like to use bots, and that's really cool. Me personally, I enjoy this. I enjoy charting. This is what I do. I enjoy teaching it. Yeah, so this is fun for me. Like, it's fun. So,
I like this actually. I mean, that's just something else I'm trying.
and it's kind of, I mean, even if you're using bots, it's knowing the basics of TA is important, just so that you can kind of, because somebody's can come out and be like, oh, I have these bots, but at the end of the day, you don't know if they're bot. Yeah, you don't know if the bot's being, if it's super accurate, but at least if you know the basics of it, like you know how to do your support and resistance and your fibs and all that stuff, at least you can kind of check and be like, okay, well the bot missed this, or if I would have done this. So I don't know, it's a good tool to have, especially if you're investing, especially in crypto. So, but yeah.
No, I don't know much about this, but this is great.
Okay, good. Well, we're here every Thursday. So if you want to
I
come.
actually live in Santa Cruz, but just passing by.
Oh, nice. Well, I'm glad that you're able. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm not on Twitter,
Okay.
but I will join you.
Okay, good. Yeah. Very good. Okay. And then another thing I want to point out to you guys about the Bollinger Band is if we're in a bearish scenario or a bearish market, sometimes you can tell that by looking at the MA line, this green line in the middle. You notice how it's pointed down? This would be a bearish scenario. If it was pointed up like it is here, that would be a bullish scenario, because you can kind of see where price is going to end up going. Because if you look here and the Bollinger Band MA line is pointed up and it's heading up, you see all these green candles here pumping. But right now we see that it's kind of down ticked here and it's just dropping. And right now we're still dropping. So just by looking at this, that's why I would place all my bids into this support box. Right now we've broken fib support, and we're entering into the support box now. As far as what's going to happen next, I like to use my, we're not pinching the Bollinger Band, so I don't expect a bounce from that yet. But what I like to do next is I like to use the indicators that I have, the MACD and the Stochar RSI. So by looking at the MACD, we see that the line is gonna make a bear cross, and it's gonna head down into oversold. And when that happens, that is a very, very strong sell signal that it's very bearish. It means price is going to continue to drop down. Once it hits this area down here, you want to hope that it's going to bounce. Sometimes it won't. We can see that it hit the oversold area over here, and it bounced up, but then it went back down. And then it's kind of chilling and oversold, and it's continuing to do that, probably because of the market sentiment. So that's something else that you want to watch out for. The next thing that I would look at would be the stochastic RSI. We're not in oversold yet, but we are heading down in that area. But because there's nothing that looks like it's going to cross, we're literally both of the lines are straight and they're heading down. That is super bearish to me. So I'm going to assume that price is going to head all the way down to oversold. So we're going to continue to keep dumping. So that's the analysis that I get just from looking on the 1-day chart. And we're probably, another thing I want to show you guys about Bollinger Band that is really cool. You see this little cloud where it's this MA line where it stops here? You can even use this as one of your targets to where price might end up. Because it's similar to the EMA lines, because that's what these are. They're the EMA lines. I believe they're the SMEA lines. But they do the same exact thing. They kind of tell you where price is going to go. So you can essentially use this as a support where price could catch. And I would when I chart Bitcoin, a lot of the way I get my targets is by using these lines. So right now I would say that we're probably going to break down and we're going to catch here. And if this support doesn't hold at 391 sats, we're probably going to dump down here and then bounce back up just by looking at the 1-day. Any questions about any of that? No? do is I would go ahead and I would go to the 4 hours just to get a different time frame and kind of see what's going on a shorter time frame. Because it's important to, depending on what type of trading you're going to do, it's important to kind of see like what's going on. So let me go ahead and see what's different here. All right, so we know, you see how we had the fib lines from the 1 day? They stayed here and they stayed in our support box. Let me see. And they're telling us, they're saying that this is a historical support, this is a historical support, which and it's all lining up really, really well. So that's why I like to use a fib so I don't have to draw my other supports. But on the 4 hour chart, we've broken support here, but notice that we're pinching the Bollinger Band on this chart. The MA line is still very bearish because it's pointed all the way down. But one thing I do want to point out, we are pinching the Bollinger Band here. And if you look down at your stochastic RSI, you're going to see that we're bouncing from oversold and we're going up. And that lines up very well with the theory about Bollinger Band, that when you pinch these bands, you're going to get another volatile movement up. Also too, MACD is kind of conflicting with what we're seeing because it is heading down, but just because it's heading down doesn't mean it won't cross later. So if you can get all three of these indicators to run together, you're going to have a really good idea to where price is going. I know MACD is very important, but sometimes I'll look at it to kind of see what's going on, but at the end of the day, I really want to see what my stochastic RSI is doing because it's going to be a really good indicator of price movement, because I believe it measures RSI, which measures price. Does anybody know? I don't know. I think it does, but I'm not sure. But yeah, so that's what I see here, and I see that we pinched here and then we bounced, and then we have another red candle which is going down, but our RSI is heading up. So what I would say in this scenario, I would hope to see that price would break above this fib and this support line that I have here and kind of play here and kind of play here. Is that going to happen? I don't know, because of market sentiment. You have to take that into account as well. But that's what I would say. And I would even say that my target I would probably say my target would be around over in this area, at the top of this support box that I have. And then one other thing that I do is I go to the 1 hour or 45 minutes just to get an even more concise picture of the chart, because it helps out a lot. But if you notice here, we're kind of pinching the Bollinger Band here, but because we're doing that, you can see on the RSI, well, it's not doing it here, but if you look at it here, it looks like that we have a little uptick and we might bear cross. And if we do that, I would anticipate us to retest this resistance line here, which is funny because that's right where our MA line is on the 1 hour. So it's really cool to see all these things like line up together, and they kind of tell a story as to where price is going to go and why it's going to go there. So I mean, that's what I do when I'm trading, when I'm charting a coin, and I write all these things down. I take them into account, and then that's where I do my sells and my buys, and I determine if it's a good enough setup or if it makes sense to me. Right now, because of the market sentiment, I'm buying the dips when I can. I'm buying the red candles. I'm buying the blood. As far as making profit right now, it's pretty hard to make a lot of profit. If I can get 10%, I will, and I make sure that I take it, because we keep saying, okay, this is bottom, but a lot of alts, we're seeing them break bottom and go down even lower. So yeah.
So if you make money on both right bottom and
yeah. Yeah, so and another thing I think with the market is the ETF FUD is people are like, oh, it's, yeah, but then they're saying that it might get approved. Does anyone know what's going on with that? Because I haven't kept up.
Sort of.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
So basically what's happening is that the big players on the stock market are the same, existing financial powers. They want to scare the existing crypto people out. What they want is to not have a kind of new big players
Right.
that were the early adopters of crypto. So they're trying to shake everybody out that they can. And so they're just doing stalling tactics, and so they're trying to create uncertainty by like saying, oh, it's going to get approved, oh no, it's not. In the long run, it will get approved,
Agree.
I think, but it's just a matter of when, because they're kind of doing last minute bureaucratic, it's like the equivalent of like, you know how restaurants in Chicago spend as much time like calling code enforcement on their rifles as they do actually
Oh
serving
gosh.
their customers. It's the equivalent of that in the financial world.
That makes sense. Yeah, go ahead, Dak.
The exchange traded funds, from what I understand, I haven't looked into it a lot. I went to Google Trends and then I set a lot of Google alerts and names of the companies that are setting up the ETF. So in case there is news, I can find my email.
Right.
And so VanEck and Solidax are really the last ones where it's a professional hedge funds that want to bring in big institutional money, you know, people that are very regular, big stock scene, but they won't want to get involved unless they know that their money that they hedge is safe in case, like kind of a federal deposit insurance corporation. So in case something happens or it gets hacked, they're still covered
Right.
before they bring in 10 million or billion.
That makes sense.
So the ETF won't probably get, it doesn't have a final date of decision until February 21st, 2019. This is just when they submitted it. So naturally people are alerted that it's been submitted, they're excited. They
Yeah.
want it to happen. 95% of people who wrote the SEC said they're for it. But the SEC makes final decision, it probably won't be until next year.
Right.
So they're going to go slow. They know the
Well,
market
of
is-
course they're going to go slow because it's something that's in, they have, as much as they want to have control over crypto, they don't really have control, especially Bitcoin. Like, it's.
They know that they know where to leave it operate, even if they were to massively regulate it, still it's going to go.
Yeah.
The decisions are going to be made off of 5 commissioners too.
Oh.
One
Yeah,
that
5
approved
people.
it.
They probably
5
don't know much about
commissioners and there's
blockchain.
one that approved it for the brothers. One that approved the board.
Yeah.
I did hear something about the FEC is actually trying to change the rules to make it slightly easier for people to experiment with new things. So that also makes me think that approval is a matter of time.
Right. Well, and also too, there's so much money that's flowing into crypto, and there's so many younger people that are like, you know what, I'm tired of loans, I'm tired of this. They're like kind of losing belief in the financial system. So I feel like the younger generation, they're probably leaning more towards investing their own money, having control of their investments. Because literally when you have a 401k or whatever through your job, you put money in, you send it to these people like Vanguard or whoever the heck, they invest it for you. They send you these long ass statements that you don't even know. I don't even know what the heck they say in mine. I just get these statements. I know I'm paying fees and I'm just like, okay, well, whatever. They don't want to miss I feel like they're kind of getting FOMO of not getting our money and they don't want to miss out on that. So I feel like, of course, I feel like they will issue them, they will get approved, but it's going to take time.
I read something which is kind of like 18 months.
Yeah,
roughly.
that's what.
I feel optimistic. It's like, because the industry is already developed, because Bitcoin has trading pairs with thousands of shitcoins, because there's exchanges all over the world, and now everybody has this liquidity connected from their bank, maybe directly to exchange, or maybe through something else. And then
Or to Ernesto.
Yeah, or this, you get a freaking
Yeah.
freaking arbitrage within the city now. What I'm thinking is really nothing more than like the SEC or the CFTC just giving the go-ahead to one of these hedge funds. And that alone, without even really much actual stuff, is enough to like pop the cork. And people in Korea, and people in China, and people here, and people in New Zealand, and everybody in South Africa, they're just going to go poof. And it's going to be $80,000 for Bitcoin.
Yeah.
For Bitcoin. And like, literally, remember, it went up to 20 grand in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It could be 80,000 by the end of the year, or 50,000. I'm not pumping it. I'm saying it's just a decision away.
Right.
And what happens with bad news, it only goes down a little bit. You know, oh, it dropped 1,000 a day. Oh,
Well, we're
we're
used to those dumps though now.
It's going to go up 50,000.
Yeah.
in 3 months.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. So
Because that liquidity is all we think about is market cap.
yeah.
It's such a small thing. Today, Apple came out with a story that they reached
There's too many zero.
$1 trillion.
$1 trillion net worth in Apple. And what I do, I popped over to trade with you, and what happened? There was this huge gap where their normal trading, which was normal upward motion, just went boom. They jumped like $100 today.
Oh wow.
Just from that awesome news. And it really didn't mean you wouldn't be able to find that information out if you went to seek it out yourself.
Right.
It's just that once the news is real,
Right.
then it's real. And when good news comes out, I think it's more real and more impactful than crap news. And people forget about it being like a tsunami, you know, we just forget what to do. Well, I run to the hills, I don't go to the ocean and check it out, the water comes out. People forget. And I think when we're sitting here now, we draw the long day chart. Right now, we're at the same point as we were before that huge pump in December.
That's true.
I'm looking across going, do I buy now or do I wait? Because I could only be good. People that had 100 grand last December into crypto now we have 10 grand.
Yeah.
Horrific.
Yeah.
That's a mountain that blew its top. And yet they're smart. If they had 100 grand back then, they probably already knew just hodl for a while. Wait till it does its thing. And then as Bitcoin goes up, so will all these other ones. Because these other projects are better than Bitcoin.
Yeah, that was another thing that people talk about too. Is I went to the Blockchain Beach conference and they had the people that were sitting on the panel. I know I talked about this before, but they were the devs and some of the devs and stuff. They were saying that because of the bear market we're in, they're actually able to create. They're actually able to make the not use cases, the interfaces, and they're able to work on. I can't think of the word right now. They're able to make things look nicer and deal with all the craziness that happened in December, which is really good because a lot of these projects, the FA behind them, I read some of the FA on stuff and I'm like, what the hell? Like, you want to do this, but you want to use all these things? Like, why can't you just do this and use this interface or whatever? So that makes it kind of complicated. So that they're saying that because the market's kind of slowing down, there's not a lot of new money in it. Because I know a lot of projects, like a lot of ICOs, they do not want to release. They don't want to release their projects or do different things or upgrades because it's really not the time because nobody's buying. Because in the bull market, anytime something comes out with the roadmap or they want to do a new interface or they want to put their project in beta or whatever, you'll see a lot of those pumps and the market reacts just like we did with Apple. But right now, people are just these teams are kind of chilling and they're kind of doing really good work with their projects. And I feel like the bear market, even though it sucks and I'm losing money, I'm sure a lot of other people are too, I feel that the really good projects are going to be really, really good once we go back into a bull run again. Just my opinion. Yeah.
So let's say we have little gains, 5%, 10%. Let's go back to your point about the food bags.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the secret for us right now is if we all get good at food bagging, sounds horrible.
Yeah.
If we did, then we need to figure out a way to get our coins off the exchange and safe.
Yeah.
So, can you talk about that?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'll talk about it a little bit. I'm just like, I still like, anytime I transfer funds, I'm like, it makes me like, because like,
Locked in that position.
yeah, well, I never got it, like, nothing bad happened to me, but I moved all of my OCN from KuCoin to my ledger finally because, like, I just didn't want to do it because I didn't know this, and this is stupid, but I didn't know that if you had an ERC20 token and it was in a Bitcoin pair that you can put it on your ledger. I thought I needed to create like additional wallets about that, Stacey, like the security and
Probably the main thing to focus on here whenever somebody walks in, it's like, where do you have your coins stored? Ernesto and I lost 90% of our crypto on Mt. Gox. Yeah. No.
just talking to this.
Yeah, so we lost 90% of our crypto on Mt. Gox. So when people come in here to do an exchange, we always ask them, how do you store your coins? Not because we want to like sell them security stuff, but it's just so important to have your coins at least on your digital wallet, but if it's a large amount on your ledger, and also maybe even decoys if you believe that. Yeah, some people say paper wallets are the most secure, but I don't.
Is still holding at least 5 Bitcoin like whole Bitcoin that he got in that early and knew what he was doing trading. He's still holding those 5 whole coins. He swears by paper wallets. He's like, anything else, it will get hacked or stolen eventually. Use paper wallets and take pictures of them, and in case you lose them, and yeah.
My feeling with paper wallets, if I got a hold of somebody's paper wallet, I could easily open it up and like I don't need to know how to be a hacker. I just open it, scan it, it's done. It's like paper currency. If I take somebody's $100 bill, I have their $100 bill, you know? So I'm not a fan of paper wallets, although I know some people are like, no, you have to go paper wallet, but I'm a huge fan of the ledger. Anything that you're going to move around quite a bit, like the digital wallet, I probably have like 7 different wallets that I like. But also Ken upstairs, he had a good point one time. He's like, if you believe that Bitcoin's going to go up a lot, then you should probably set up a decoy ledger too, because if people know, everybody knows you've had Bitcoin since 2012 and it goes up a lot, you don't have a bank or anybody protecting you from anybody that wants to steal your money. And it's as easy as somebody, like, I don't know, holding you hostage or something. And if that happens, just, okay, fine, take my ledger, here's my seed phrase, but don't have it all in one place. We know a guy that that started a coin. I won't say who he is, but he got held at gunpoint in his own house, and they made him open his ledger and they took it. But those are things that I didn't even think about, and I was like, wow, yeah. So not only security by not getting hacked, but let's say it does go up to 80,000 and everybody knows, like, oh, that guy over there has had Bitcoin since who knows when, you know?
You don't even have to have Bitcoin. They could just know you were involved in cryptocurrency and
Yeah.
assume, you know.
Yeah. So just things to think about, but definitely not on the exchange. Yeah. And I mean, who knows what's going to happen with that whole Mt. Gox thing, but, you know, lesson learned. And that's actually what led Ernesto to want to open this place, because he, I'll make it really quick. But he was like pretty bitter for a while after that, because we got in 2012. So he was pretty bitter. It was like around $300 at that time, and then after Mt. Gox, he was like, I can't look at it, I can't think about it, and he was finally like so bitter about it. He's like, I gotta do something, I gotta help everybody like that's getting in, avoid these issues. And even if it's like sending the wrong address, people come in here, we're like, check the first 4, the last 4, don't store them on an exchange. Like some of the things that we've made, well, back then it was so much harder to even get Bitcoin. But yes, don't the grass that's on the exchange.
That's probably the best advice of the whole meetup.
Unless you're going to be playing with them, of course.
Yeah. I mean, with my stack that I play with, I keep it on there because things are in orders, and you know, and sometimes it's hard to get it to, you have it on your ledger, but you know you want to sell it for this amount. So that my stack that I play with, I keep it on there, and yeah.
And I hear a lot of people say, oh, but it's easier to keep track of, so I don't have to, like, I know Blockfolio is not the
Yeah.
you know, have to deal with all that. So it might be a pain to update Blockfolio, but totally worth it.
And that's for any exchange, like even like Coinbase or Binance?
Yeah, Blockfolio has, and I think people use Delta. I've never used it, but I like Blockfolio. I have all my stuff in there, and I set alerts, and they have all the different exchanges that they're just like Coinigy. They have, like, if we go to Coinigy and we go to, let's type, why is it doing that? They have for Tron, they have Tron, Binance, they have all the different exchanges that it's on. So you can set alerts and do all that stuff here as well.
And it's just a simulation, so, and just keep in mind sometimes there's bugs. One time we woke up and it was like 200 and something million, and we're like, what?
So.
It was a bug.
Damn. Go ahead.
As a trader, I've been trying to find like trading in the zone, flow, like getting in the zone to figure out what tools to use. How do I go about getting in the zone? Not only is it making it fun, like how do I make profit? How do I ultimately get more Bitcoin?
Right.
Even the moon bags that I stash away, where do I stash them? So I've been trying to find a platform. Like Exodus gives you access to the developer tab, and then you can get your private key, right? Doesn't mean you couldn't get hacked somehow, but at least you have your private key. And they have lots of coins in Exodus wallet now. There's this new one coming out. They don't have the desktop app yet. It's called Ethos.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I got that on my phone.
Yeah, but that's just on your phone at this point. I want one that's desktop, so I can manage all my moon bags. Ultimately, just to get more Bitcoin. I don't care about the crap. I want more Bitcoin.
Right.
But I want to save those crap coins because they're going to move way more than Bitcoin ever will.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll have what I have is multiple tools now, but really just two.
Right.
There's one called Capitalized Crypto. It's a human language trading platform. You can write in it. You can say buy Tron to BTC pair on Binance for this amount, and that's your entry. And then it has an exit. Then you can say sell if the price gets to this or it goes under the 50-day EMA or whatever. You can tell it.
Oh, that's so cool.
And you can have it email you as triggers for email alerts. Right now, that platform is still in beta, so it's free. You can do as much trading, API trading on the exchanges as you want. That's like secondary. I like that because it's like future trading setups for the moon bags. Remind me when the price of Tron gets here so I don't have to pay attention to it every day. Someday in the future, it'll email me when it reaches that point. Then the other tool I use is called Free Commas. Free Commas is great because you can buy it, get your position in a coin, and at the same time set your take profit, how much to sell it at, and you can even break it into pieces.
Nice.
Sell it here, and then also your exit in case it goes down. Your stop loss, your stop loss.
I know, don't.
And so you're doing the entry, the up and the down, just in case. And ultimately, what is the whole point of all that gibberish? It's because, yeah, I want more Bitcoin, but it's because if I know something simple, that it's the randomness of the market. As long as I always set my stop losses less of a percentage than the gains that I'm going for, then even if I lose all the time, and even if I lose more of the time, in the end, I still end up being profitable. Because the amount of going up to gain, maybe 15-20%, is still 4 times more than the 5% I go down before I sell.
Right.
So it's great because it's all automated. I set it, I do the TA, I set it, I forget it.
Oh, like the crock pot.
And then I can just go about my normal life.
Yeah.
Like I grow out.
What's it called again? What is it called?
3 commas. 3 and then commas. Great platform. Super cool people. Good project. I'm sure you have CoinG and you can do everything right in there.
Yeah, I love my CoinG. They're cool.
I like what you're doing. That's kind of a good way to understand things better.
Yeah, it's fun, I think, to get people together so we can kind of network and we can talk about ideas. I know the stuff that Zach talks about, these 2 exchanges or the 2 automated things, I would probably never think to do them, but it's cool to kind of, and we also had the ETF conversation. That's really cool too. I like to, I mean, as much as I love to be on Twitter shit posting or like doing whatever, I also really enjoy to face with people and talking and communicating because we're humans, it's important. We can't like not have human contact at all, so I don't know.
But what I've been also hearing is actually, so because there's a lot of bots out there doing a lot of these tradings, I think, like there's a lot of guys with a lot of money have their own bots that they're using. There's all these small guys that have their own little bots. And the way that it affects these graphs and the analytics, I don't know if they're really aligned anymore because the bots are doing mass volume. So I don't know much about the analytics you're talking about, but I always think about that for some stuff because if the bots are doing so fast, then how does the analytics we talking about here, how does it really do that?
I mean, I think that, you know, bots, they do their own thing, but with computers, there's glitches, they make mistakes. I worked in healthcare for 7 years, and I can't tell you how many mistakes there were with the system that we were using constantly. So bots are great. Technology is supposed to make our life better, but at the end of the day, I feel like actual human contact using the human mind can be better. But the whole point of TA, to me, is really just kind of getting an idea of the overall market, using your brain, because using your brain and using your mind, thinking for yourself is really important. We're not zombies. We should, we should try to be better people and learn more, read books or whatever. But it kind of causes you to think. And at the end of the day, you want to know what you're doing. You want to find the conclusion you came to. You want to be like, I did this, or I made this call, I made this money. Like, even if it's wrong, I don't know, it's exciting for me, so I can be like, go back in my journal and be like, okay, this was really awesome. Like when I go back to some of my winning trades, I'm like, that was so freaking cool. Like, it's exciting. Support and resistances, they're really important to know, and to know why they're important. So, I don't know.
Actually, I learned a lot just by getting for 15 minutes.
Oh, thank you. Well, we're happy to have you.
The bot that's doing what he's talking about, just having stop loss points, and if it's properly configured, it's technically never going to like lose money. It's just going to trade really fast, but it just might not be profitable for most of the time. The only thing is, like, I would be paranoid about some of the commercial bots that are out there. Like, code your own or don't do it. Like, that's the lesson of Mt. Gox ultimately, is don't use technology you don't understand.
That too, but also, I mean, like I was talking about, there with computers and with technology, there are glitches sometimes. And I mean, I saw it firsthand when I was in healthcare. So I just I like technology, I'm with it, but at the same time too, if there's something that I can do to check for myself, then I'd rather do it myself than use a bot or something. But that's just me. Everybody's different.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have a bot doing anything other than buy and sell at set points. That's pretty foolproof with a bot.
Unless there's something crazy that happens with the FA in the market. Or then.
But even then, it'll just kind of hang until you reconfigure it.
Kind of. I'm not with that all the time, especially with, go ahead.
9 out of 10 bots use Bollinger Bands. They're going to sell before the downtrend. You're going to constantly if you leave it on.
Right.
You're just going to eat your Bitcoin for dinner. And you'll end up with that. If there's a downtrend.
Right.
But in an uptrend, awesome.
Okay. Well, right now we are in a bear trend, so. I don't know, whatever works. I like it. I think it's fun.
Because the Bollinger Bands are going down. So the upper Bollinger Band is where it fell. It's got a downtrend, so that upper Bollinger Band is down too. So it's selling down.
Right.
Which takes your Bitcoin.
Which we want to trade shit coins to make more Bitcoin, right? Yay! Just for yeah. On that note, does anybody have any more questions or want to talk about anything else before we stop the recording? No?
I have a question.
Yes.
What is your go-to pair of indicators? Is it like Bollinger, Fib, MACD, and the stove?
Yeah. That's generally
The
what.
ones that you put on all of them, and then you kind of
Yeah.
match them together and do your boxes.
Yeah, the first thing I do is draw my support and resistance lines, like I should, and then I keep the Bollinger Band, MACD, the Stouch on there, and then I'll do fib supports. Right now, the fib retracement is not that helpful as far as the going up, because we're in a downtrend. So it's not like we're gonna hit, not like we're gonna just skyrocket up. But it kind of shows me like an overview of the market and where price was and where it reacted really well before. But my favorite is really the Bollinger Band, the support resistance, and the Stouch and the MACD. And then the fib I use as kind of a guide, essentially, to see like where we're at and what could happen. So those are my go-tos. Anybody else? We good?
Just want to get your contact. I mean, I like what you guys are doing.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you again to Stacy and Ernesto for letting me host this here. This is their place. They are awesome. This is like the hub. Anybody that's visiting LA needs to come here and like meet them.
What are the hours of business down here?
Same as Bitcoin, right?
If you call us at midnight, we'd probably be like, hey.
If you have any crypto emergency, you can call myself.
So we're open 9 to 6, like business hours, and then usually after that, like around 7, different meetups start throughout the week.
Yeah, they have other. Ken, you do one on stable coins, right? A meetup. Ken does that, and then you guys do other ones about security.
Big clubs here on Tuesdays, we have ours on Wednesdays, you're here on Thursdays. We're trying to fill up every night of the week. We're not open on the weekends yet, but as you know, more people find out and they're banging on the door, well, we'll open on the weekends too.
Yeah, somebody needs to come in and, because you can buy and sell here and have meetups, so if somebody needs to come in on a weekend, we'll come in, but 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, we're here hanging out, so come visit us.
So you can just come in and work here and do
You can come and either buy, sell, or if you need help setting up ledgers or wallets,
Or even if you wanted to run your crypto business.
or if you have a cryptocurrency or blockchain-based business, you can get a desk here or work from the building. Yeah, and a lot of people that come in, if they need another service that someone upstairs offers, we just tell them what they do. There's some people that help go into like from digital assets to hard assets. So if you want to take your profits and not go back into fiat, go into like precious metals or something, but not have to worry about capital or other reasons you might not want to go into.
I can give you some advice on that, but I don't think I'll do it on a camera.
Okay.
Just the only words I would say is livestock. If you want to go real long term, if you get serious getting crypto, land, livestock, move.
Really quick before we go, I am hosting a meetup, informal meetup like I do. I do monthly ones. It's going to be in LA at the Boomers Brewery Brew House, and Bitcoin Meister is going to be there, and I'm hosting it with Gaston Cruz. So it's going to be 8/11 Saturday from 7 to 10. So I hope all you guys can make it. If not, everybody that's watching, come down and hang out. It's going to be fun. But no, PM. I'm going to be. I don't like to drink in the morning. Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, you can have some eggs with your beer or something.